Oh.
All right.
Okay, welcome back.
Well,
Hey, that's our line.
Okay. Go ahead, welcome us back, and then I got a question.
Where are we at in this thing?
All right. Segment 2. And we are back with Ashley Morrill, sister, designer, husband, aunt, you name it.
Husband.
Wife,
Husband.
whatever.
She's a great husband.
Husband.
Hi, everybody. It's been so long.
It could definitely show, too.
All right, so I heard them talking earlier about where everybody had traveled from. And when I was in the store, my mom said that somebody had actually come in from Hawaii. So,
No,
are you here?
Callie and Seamus don't count. They're here every summer.
Well, no, I just wanted to figure out who came the furthest and who came from the closest.
California. Oh, Andy came from Scotland. What?
California.
Florida.
Nice. Well, thank you guys. Whether you came from West
and
Garden,
just talking to everybody, I can't believe, the majority of people here are from out of state, which is so cool. So thank everybody.
I think it still blows our mind that we're up here right now and that everyone traveled as far to see us and that we're on TV. Like, still hasn't hit in, I don't think, 100%.
No, definitely not. And I think, everybody, we're all very grateful for you all to be here. I mean, just how far everything's come in one season and just that we're able to gather like this, and it's beautiful. I mean, even though it's a little rainy, it's still beautiful weather. So we'll take it every chance we get.
And I didn't realize this, but Jen said that it's because the fans were requesting a day like today. I thought it was just something because she's been putting together all these awesome events, but she told me that it's because of the fans. So good job, guys.
Yes. Thank you, fans.
You too, Gus.
And the most important thing to remember today is don't let Monday ruin your Sunday. Right? I'll drink to that.
I guess. So why
That is very true.
why don't you actually give us an update on where things are at with you in the cabins?
Well, with me, we're coming up on 4 reveals in the next couple of weeks. 2 in Lincolnville, 1 in Cobsey, and the other one
3 reveals.
3 reveals.
3 reveals.
Coney Mouth.
So yeah, we're just plugging away, my design team and I. It's been fun.
So right now we're
I don't know what else you want me to
2 or 3 weeks out from wrapping up the major build on the cabin. So now this is when Ashley and her team kind of come in and take over.
This is when the magic happens.
I think
This is when it starts raining. This is when I start freaking out,
This is when the stress levels start rising.
for me
and me.
And me.
and Gus.
But-
Not me.
Not Maggie. It's been a weird year or two. I feel like this year we're still dealing with pandemic stuff and the supply chain's backed up and our schedule has just been off. But they were here in May and June for 7 out of 8 weeks, and it was a lot.
Brutal.
It was brutal.
Unless you're listening.
No, but we
Film
did
crew.
it, but that was a long stretch. Normally it's what 4 to maybe 4 or 5 weeks have been the longest.
Yeah.
And then last week, it was an easy. It's called a B shoot, so it's just when they come in the middle of a shoot.
Just one
So,
guy.
I thought
Keep
it was
up
all
around.
over on Friday. I didn't have to film on Friday. I pull in Friday afternoon, and there is like a whole production. There's tents everywhere, cars everywhere.
At our house.
Right in the front yard.
Yep.
But they made some cool stuff though.
Yeah, we did.
I
We made a lot of cool projects.
I just cleaned up the mess yesterday.
Thank you. So you have some questions for me, Maggie?
Not yet.
Oh.
You haven't talked long
We were
enough.
talking for like 2 minutes.
Oh yeah. So while the production company was at the house filming, it's a good PSA for people. They had taken down one of the easy ups, and that night we were watching TV around 10 o'clock at night, and our carbon monoxide alarm goes off. But we didn't know at that time it was a carbon monoxide alarm. So we all ran outside. Gussie and
Hi,
Charlie.
Nori.
Gussie and Charlie were scared to death. And Ryan went outside and went downstairs to check on his parents.
Oh, no. First, we called downstairs. So if you know,
Oh,
guys
yeah,
don't-
they called downstairs, but they didn't answer.
my dad and my stepmom were, and they live below us in the summers.
Is this
and-
my segment or yours?
Well, I was just embellishing your story. We're a team,
I'm just kidding.
and they've been known to set the alarm off sometimes for cooking and stuff.
They're here.
So we called down and no one answered. And then, okay, like,
They're not listening.
we called down again. And
What time was it?
Like 9:45,
All right.
10.
Yeah, so they didn't answer.
So I was like, I ran outside and ran around the corner, and I could just smell it. And what had happened is that, Ash, you can take it from here.
The production company had taken down their easy up and put it over our vent. So it had all been coming back into the house. So yeah, don't cover your vents.
Or watch what your production company does.
Yes. A lot of times, you know what they'll do is they have to duct tape up our license plates. So then all of a sudden they'll forget to take it off. And so then you're just driving down the highway with a duct taped license. These guys ended up having what is it? They have to pay you
They have to buy us a six-pack every
Six-pack.
time.
And then I'm like,
every time they forget to take it off.
Yeah.
if I get pulled over and get in trouble for that, like, I'm coming after you. And like, well, you shouldn't be driving after you had a beer. Until like, oh, you're right. Okay, so you got me there. But you never know. Like getting pulled over for something like that would be par for the course.
Right? Absolutely.
They're getting better at that.
They are. So the film crew has to, they call it Greeking out when they tape over stuff. They have to tape over national companies or phone numbers, stuff like that. So they have one guy who's got a roll of probably 7 or 8 different colored tapes, and he just has to run around and make sure stuff would be covered over. Like
That's what he does first thing in the morning. He walks up to you and just does a scan on you and just tapes you up.
Yeah.
so if we were filming right now, like he would have a piece of green tape and put it over that Poland spring on the water bottle.
And he
Or,
I'll do his job for him.
Yeah, you'd probably just cut it off.
well, yes.
Put Greeking on my resume. But yeah, like if you look at our tools and stuff, like
Yeah.
always all the place. The one thing I hate is like in the laundry they put on your microphone. You ever get like a big bump right here?
Oh, from the tape?
Yeah, from the tape after 2 or 3 times. Like that's the one tape that doesn't fall off.
Right.
What?
You never they haven't like taped it right there on the microphone?
Yeah.
Or like finding it in the
Yeah.
in the
You
washer
tell
machine or the
him.
dryer. What? Here we go.
So this is a behind the scenes for sure. Ryan sweats a lot. Hot, humid summer days, he sweats atrociously.
Even after losing a little weight, doesn't matter. Just as
and
bad.
so he's ruined one microphone pack.
I think it's one.
And they take the tape and they stick it to your shirt, and he gets so sweaty it doesn't stick. So our sound guy Pete has developed a small
Bra.
strap, and he calls it Ryan's bra.
It looks good on me too.
So all during the day he'll, Ryan, how's your bra? Ryan, how's your bra?
Well, I actually like it better because they also the other one they get is like all these other skinny guys on the show. It's a waist belt that goes around your waist, and it's like 4 or 5 inches thick, and it like wraps around 3 times. Like that would make me sweat even more. So I like my mini bra. And then lately it's been so hot and humid. It's like I hate it. But the funny thing was, and this is a testament to all the fans. Like I've been working here and just covered in sweat and sawdust, and you don't care. And you know what? People don't care. They come up for a hug. They love it. Like, so thank you guys. Like, sweaty hugs and all. You make a fat guy feel good.
That's disgusting.
You want a hug? Yep. Like, I feel like the humidity, like, I remember growing up, like, it was always like you'd count the humid days. It was like maybe a week here and there. And now it's like you count the days that aren't humid. It's pretty bad.
I feel like it was always humid.
Like, look at that.
It's always been humid.
Yeah.
No, you think so?
Yeah. We're at the point in the summer.
What do you think, Maggie?
I don't know. I'm not the weatherman.
No.
Okay.
All right, but enough about my bra. What else has been going on?
I don't know. What else has been going on?
New artists you've been working with?
Yep.
New products?
Yep, we have those.
Tell us about some of them.
Let's see. What have I done this year? This year I worked with a lady who we made this awesome fused glass. Fused glass is just taking like
Those are cool.
glass scraps and then putting them into the kiln. And we made a really cool loon. A lot. I don't know if anybody went next door and just saw like some of the night lights and stuff like that. I did some hooking.
Yeah.
Rug hooking.
She's really good at it.
That was their favorite joke. Yeah, we've just kind of been plugging away. You caught me off guard. I can't think of anybody else that I worked with this season. Can you?
Not my no.
Not my no.
Not mine. No questions.
But there is a lot of new stuff in the store, and
Yeah, tons of new merchandise.
And one thing about the store is you guys are planning ahead. For the holidays. It's hard to think that, huh? Planning
Yeah,
ahead for the holidays.
It's crazy.
We are going to have union suits.
Do you guys know what a union suit
I
is?
want one of those. Yes.
We're going to have Maine Cabin Master union suits.
Also, if there's any other suggestions, let us know, you guys. We're always looking for ideas, always taking ideas for new merchandise.
Tell
Yeah.
me more about the union suits.
Do they
Is
have
there
a little
flap
flap?
on the back?
Yeah, of course.
Does a union suit have to have a flap?
Yes. I mean, strategically and for
Is it
purpose.
zipper?
Yeah, well, I've had a couple close calls with skiing with something like that on.
Yeah.
Hey,
Like-
cabin masters out there, I have a feeling I know what you're getting for Christmas.
I got a lobster
Red?
patterned union suit for Father's Day.
Oh, yeah, I saw you in that.
How's he
Fletcher
looking at?
picked it up from Rennie's, and I thought, hey, why not make a Maine Cabin Masters one? I wear them in the wintertime.
Is it going to be like main cabin masters like down the front of it, or like little main cabin masters all over it, or our faces?
What was it going to say on the butt flap?
Uh-oh.
I don't like this idea.
It was a good one. I'll think of it. I'll save
They
that
are nice,
surprise.
though.
Yeah.
Like not having a butt and my pants always falling down. When I was with snowboarding, I get so cold. Like that's the one place that it all go down my butt.
Yeah.
And so this guy I knew told me about it was this special like Poly Pro suit, and the same thing. One piece
Yeah.
has a zipper in the back, but the zipper it's not a flap, and it's like if you would zip your pants to your shirt, but it's like 6 inches in the front is where it's no zipper. So you literally, if you had to use the bathroom, like and sit down, like you'd have to like undo it. And you'd
I feel
have,
like
to,
Okay.
you'd
this
have to
has
like do
gone off
yoga.
the rails.
Like,
Want to
okay.
ask some questions now?
I know,
Thank
we're
you,
so
Maggie.
off.
Wants to hear
Wait,
some
wait, wait.
Thank you,
answers?
Maggie.
No.
Who wants to hear some answers?
Wait, I have more
think
questions
everyone
about this
does.
union
I think
suit.
everyone does.
Thank you, Maggie.
I'll ask you later.
the benefits definitely outweigh the struggle to use the bathroom. So look for that in the shop. Oh, you know another cool
right.
thing that a lot of people don't. Can I say one more thing?
She's really cutting us off.
Fine.
Well, a lot of people don't know about like the cool
If it
camera
has
that
anything to do with union suits, then you're out.
no. So our social media web design team use a really cool camera. Now, if you guys don't know this, like you can go back and look at the episodes, and it's a camera that they embed into the cabin. Chase, you set it up right?
Yeah,
Right
it's a
before the
3D
reveal.
tour.
And you can literally take a 3D tour, and it shows products like.
Yep. It
Here
shows
and
that you
there,
can
like-
What
hide.
does this have to do with union suits? Where does this just come from?
Well, they're talking about the store and like trying to push retail and all that good stuff. Like
You are all over the place. Right?
But yes, you can go on our website, maincabinmasters.com, and we've got episode guides for each cabin starting, I think, season 2 or 3. And you can do a virtual tour of the cabin, get a closer look.
Yeah, and it's cool because it definitely gives you a link to all the artists and craftsmen that I work with, and also
And all the companies
All
that
the
we worked
companies.
with on each product,
Yeah.
each project.
So if you need a new roof or something like that, you like the roof in one of the episodes, you just go click.
there it is.
There it is.
And one of us will be in the union suit.
www.maincabinmasters.com.
Is that what I said?
I don't know.
Oh.
Okay, are we ready now?
Yes.
All right.
Enough small talk.
So these are all fan questions that you guys sent in on your cards. So if I didn't pick yours, don't shoot me. All right. It was Jen's fault. Our first question is pancakes or waffles?
Waffles.
Are these just for Ashley or for all of us?
All of us.
I mean, you can answer that if you want to. I
What's
don't
yours?
care.
Chicken and waffles. Mm-hmm.
Remember when we had chicken and waffles in Nashville?
Yeah,
That was good.
it was.
Spicy. What's yours? You look confused over there.
I was just thinking about you and waffles. Like, I always thought you liked pancakes.
You know they make union suits out of waffle material.
Oh my God.
Sounds tasty.
Just saying. wait, Maggie, what would you say? Pancakes or waffles?
What did Ryan say too?
Oh, yeah.
Waffles, I guess. I don't know.
Ryan.
I'm a pancaker.
Okay.
Fun fact about Maggie, she doesn't like maple syrup
It's true.
I know.
Maggie. Or union suits, for that matter.
Can you stop with the union suits?
We can't.
All right. Next question. We all wanted to meet you. Who do you hope to meet? Like someone famous.
Willie Nelson. For sure. Number one. Anybody out there know him?
Oh. So I'm working here one day, and this guy pulls in. It's like it was last summer. He pulls in like 7 in the morning, and he's like, "Ryan, you're never gonna believe this. I used to work at J&S, and when J&S Oil was across the street where Origins is, and he's like, I'm working there, and like 6:30 in the morning, and this old bus pulls in, and he's like, the bus pulled in, it was like falling apart, and this guy pulled out, and the bus smelled kind of funny." And next thing I know is this is happening. A moose is walking right across the street because he saw our moose sculpture. I'm like, where the heck is he going with this? And he's like, so there's this bus here, and the moose is walking across the street, and out walks Willie Nelson.
Really?
I swear to God. And I guess he played against the Civic Center like in the 80s or something, and he was heading over to Lewiston or something, and stopped there.
How weird.
And the moose was crossing the road.
You never see moose in this area.
Or Willie Nelson.
Yeah.
You got a point. Oh, she didn't like that.
Maggie, who would you like to meet?
Harry Styles.
Oh.
Got some Harry Styles
I mean, you kind of met him at Easter, but.
So Maggie and Nori, Eva, my wife Sarah, all had Harry Styles tickets for Montreal in October. They've been looking forward to it, but unfortunately the concert got canceled. So,
bummer.
yeah, we're going to have to find a new venue to find him at.
Harry Styles is this generation's Jerry Garcia.
Yes.
Oh my God. Harry on the woodshed stage.
Well, side note, Ryan was Harry Styles for Halloween. For Easter Halloween. The girls decided for Easter that we were going to have to get dressed up as a musician, right?
On a scale of 1 to 10, how'd I do?
I would give it a 9.
All right.
It was good.
Yeah.
I wore a skirt, so it's worth something.
Next question.
Okay. Are we ready? Is it hard for you and Ryan to not always talk about work?
Yes. It's very hard for Ryan and I to not talk about work. If I want to talk about it, he doesn't, and if he wants to talk about it, I don't.
That's very true.
And then we end up talking about it. I mean,
we're so focused on work. We get home, we talk about it. We talk about it in our sleep.
Well, I mean, we do. We talk about it all the time. But, when we're hanging out with our friends or, we go over to our families, we try to not talk about work. So, like, if we're home alone, yes. But when we're with our friends and family, we try to just, set it aside and not have everything focused on work.
Do you ever dream about cabins?
Yes. I still dream about waitressing, too, though. I do all the time.
Yeah, it's that stress level when you dream about cabins that need to be completed.
Yep.
That's weird, guys.
It is.
All right. Are we ready?
Yes.
Do Charlie and Gus sleep in the bed with you at night?
Yeah.
Gus, what do you have to say about that?
If I was in charge, no. But I am not in charge, obviously.
There's your answer.
But we had a breakthrough moment the other day because I'm always like, we have a nice, king size bed. And I'll be like, I had no room, like dogs are on me. And she's like, you're lying, you're being a drama queen, blah, 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 blah. And the other day, I was gone all day, and she woke up and she's like, oh my God. I was on the corner of the bed, and then Charlie and Gus, were right on top of me, there's the whole rest of the bed. So yeah, don't let the dogs sleep with you.
And for those they also have a cat named Lizard.
King Elizabeth the First.
Luckily, he sleeps with our parents.
Luckily.
Oh, really?
No, he moved out. You didn't know?
I didn't know that.
He moved in with Mike and Maureen. he and Charlie are not friends.
Oh. I didn't know that.
But we love our dogs and our animals.
Okay. What was your most challenging design?
The most challenging one, I would say any of the large builds. We have a certain amount of money that the production company gives us, and a lot of times if the cabins don't have a lot of furniture, you have to find ways of getting creative, stretch the budget as far as we can. Go into yard sales or, Jellisons or like Martins, doing whatever we can to stretch the budget. Sometimes we pulled stuff out of our house.
Hotel rooms. You know,
We returned it.
You still haven't put stuff back that you guys have taken from our house.
Why do I bring these things up?
After season 2, I was like, no, because they would take stuff and not put it back. We're still missing like a bar stool.
Yeah, this is what I do. Open myself up to this.
But so, I mean, a lot of these camps.
Oh, I know what definitely the most challenging are the island ones.
Sure.
Those ones are a pain. If they say island, I say no. But they're cool for TV. But think about having to get all that stuff out there on these little boats and just back and forth. And yeah, those ones. That's my most challenging.
But remember season 1 though, when there was no budget for when the show was just starting, there was no budget for anything, and the design they would go buy stuff, leave the tag on it, and then they'd ask the homeowner afterwards. Right after they have this beautiful camp, Lisa would be like, "Do you want to buy that? You gonna buy that?"
I guess that's common in the industry, but it wasn't.
But it was so
it
weird
wasn't for
to us,
us,
wasn't it?
Yeah, foreign.
So now we've gotten more popular. We got a little bit of a budget.
And that's what everybody asks. Do the homeowners get to keep the stuff? And the answer is yes.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's it's really cool, because they still have some of their stuff, but then they also have some new stuff. So it just gives the whole place a new feel, but yet still a familiar feel because they still have their stuff.
A lot of times though, friends and family will bring stuff over.
Well, it's hard. Yeah, because I mean, some camps you go into and there's generations and generations worth of stuff that they want to save, but you don't necessarily want to
save it.
Use it in the camp, but then you'll go into others that are completely empty, that they've recently purchased and have no attachment to anything. So it really does kind of cover the whole spectrum of what you have to do to decorate them and design them.
And we do need to give one shout out to the Dodges. I don't know if you guys remember that camp. It was Santa.
Yep.
Yes.
Santa is in the house.
Where is he?
I don't see him right now, but he's somewhere.
He's getting ready for Christmas.
Yeah.
Okay. This question will test your real knowledge, Ashley.
Oh.
Boy.
What is Ryan's favorite Grateful Dead song?
August West, Gussie's name, Wharf Rat.
She's right.
Wait, but I have a favorite
that's so
game. You guys
sweet.
want to know what it is? It's what number am I thinking of?
Oh, God.
So I'm thinking of a number, and when we get done, I'm sending it out to all of you guys right now. And when it's between 1 and 100.
This is when I go to bed.
I've written it down, and I already wrote it. I wrote it down, and I've been sending it out to you guys. Hopefully,
what you were
Rachel's
writing
listening
on
to
that
this. Hi,
paper?
Rachel. What? This is my game, Maggie.
I know. Never once have I guessed the right number, actually.
We got to get on the
Because, you know,
same wavelength.
I have never seen it. And actually, after 50 chances, they usually get it. And then it's like, oh, my God.
Where's Andy? Andy gets it. Andy knows what I'm talking about. Mustachio.
Anyways.
Guess the next question.
Oh, she's giving the eyes.
Oh.
I don't even know.
All right, anyways. How much time does it really take to decorate a cabin?
I'd say 2 full days. It depends on the size. And if you have a good team, you could get it done in a day. And wouldn't you guys say?
If you're not on an island.
If you're not on an island.
And if we're not in your way, still building.
Yes, and a lot of times if the guys, especially in season 1, the guys were still building, and I was trying to sweep up, and then they just, saw something, there'd be sawdust all over the floor that I just swept up to go decorate. So yeah, we're definitely better now.
We really have come a long ways.
We've come a long ways.
Season 1, it was like, remember the first camps were doing the A-frames? It was 15-hour days just to get them done, and then the paint wasn't even drying, and Ashley's bringing in her stuff, and we're still building. And then the producer looks at Jenna and I and goes, "Where are the curtain rods?" We're like, "Are you serious?" We'll never forget that. I thought Jenna was going to throttle him. If he wasn't going to, I was.
But we've come a long way. We've got a great team. Same thing. Ashley has
I have
a
a
great
great team, yeah.
And we've knock on wood again, we kind of figured out how it all works together and how much time you need and how much time we need to get them completed. But they're still stressful. There's still sometimes where walls are still a little wet.
Yeah, I mean, the last
floors are a little tacky.
Was it
Everything's tacky.
this last round? We didn't get the windows until 2 days before the reveal.
Yep.
2 or 3. Like, it's down to the wire. A lot of times.
That brings up a good point, though. There's a lot of people you guys don't see behind the scenes that really make us look as good as we do. You know, there's so many people. You know, Ashley's got 4 or 5 people on the design team. You know, we have so many carpenters behind us. So yeah, it's not just us. We get so many questions like, how do the 5 of you guys do 20 cabins a year?
Yep.
Well, we don't. A lot of help.
I mean, we even have the production team,
Yeah.
washing windows, scraping paint, raking. We all work together.
Loves to rake.
Throwing down hay or mulch just to make it keep camera ready. So.
Well, then today, a lot of the guys that were serving and helping behind the scenes to get the food out and the drinks out work construction Monday through Friday. So thanks to those
guys. A lot of hard
too.
workers.
Yeah. Thanks, guys, and also thanks to Cole and the whole kitchen and bar staff. They nailed it.
One of the major pieces of Ashley's team was here today, and I don't know if people recognize him because he was so clean cut.
Oh, Bill. Bill.
Wild Bill. He cleaned himself up so nobody knows. Not anyone knows.
I was going to bring him up on stage with me.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. He likes to talk, so go ahead on over and talk to him.
No, I have some more.
All right, Meg's going to stab.
Jeez, Ryan, rushing me over here. All right. Ashley, are you paying attention?
Yeah.
Okay. We will do one last question. I'm going to pick. Actually, pick 1 or 2.
2.
Okay.
1.
Just
kidding.
If you could make a chandelier out of any material, what would you pick?
A chandelier out of any material.
That's a very good question, whoever asked
You guys think about that one, too. Oh, yeah. Out of any material.
Can't use Gus.
Dog fur. Just kidding. I don't know. What would you guys?
Well, speaking about chandeliers, Jedi made a unbelievable chandelier out of lobster traps, and it's at our friend's restaurant in Denver, the Maine Shack. So if you're ever in Denver, Colorado, go to the Maine Shack and see a really cool chandelier.
Sorry, whoever's question that is yours. I'll think about it.
I would go chainsaws.
Oh.
What?
Brooms.
Broom.
Wait. I gotta show you my broom. Could you pass me my broom?
Ashley.
I got a new broom.
We're trying to wrap this up, and here you are.
Okay, well, everybody, don't forget about the number you're thinking of.
Oh.
And thank you for the broom. I don't know if you can see it. It's beautiful. All kinds of different colors. You do not know how many brooms I have at home. 1,000,000.
And we do offer a nice broom, right? And is it Amish made?
Yeah, with my face on it. Because I was trying to take that joke back.
All right, well, why don't you ride it right out of here?
Oh, boy. Hey, thanks again, everybody. We really appreciate it. This has been so much fun.
And we'll take a short break. We'll be right back with Jedi and Dixie.
Thank you.
The Woodshed is Central Maine's newest live music and events venue. Featuring a delicious light menu, 24 Maine microbrews on draft, and live music 4 nights a week through October, we've got a good time waiting for you. You might even spot a Maine cabin master or 2. Follow us on social media. And check out our events page at KennebeccabinCompany.com/woodshed to plan your trip. See you soon.
The best way I could describe working with Hammond Lumber, our relationship, is like working with a group of friends.
Their service is excellent in the store. You walk in, there's always somebody there waiting to help you.
Delivery, on-site help, whatever's needed, they're there for us.
Aggressive on the pricing. They have all the materials and products we need.
Their sales service is exceptional.
They deliver everything when we expect it to be delivered.
It always comes back to service, with Hammond Lumber being the most important thing.
you
All
drinking?
right.
What do you think I'm drinking?
We're
Woodshed
back.
IPA.
Pay attention, Chip.
Yo, sorry, and we're back
Thanks, Maggie.
with Jedi and Dixie.
Excellent.
What's going on, guys?
Gentlemen,
What do you guys have in those beautiful mugs?
I'm having a CL smoothie.
It's a Coors Light, for those of you who don't know.
Also a Coors latte.
So it's funny, everyone, they assume we drink dark, wonderful. Because Maine is known for beers. Like, in Dixie Jedi, I'm like, what do you guys drink? Can I buy you this? Can I buy you that? I'm like, yeah, well, we like Coors Light. But we will drink anything.
We hydrate. With a Coors
Yeah.
Light, we hydrate.
Not truly.
Oh, come on. Now they're making fun of my Trulies. I love my seltzer, especially my Dash seltzer.
I do like the Dash.
Yeah. Don't judge a man by what he drinks.
So what's going on with you guys? What you want to tell them anything new? You spend a lot of time up in Rangeley these days.
Yeah, up in Rangeley quite a bit. Love it up there. Great little community. Love the area.
Put his mic closer.
You gotta talk.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
It just seems weird.
I know. You just gotta do it.
So yeah, up in Rangeley, Saddleback's great. Rangeley Lakes, Moose Lick, Dougie. Where's Doug?
Dodge.
Dougie
Doug's
Dodge.
still hiding from us. Oh, he left.
He left. Doug and Lois.
Where exactly? I mean, no, what town is your camp in?
Rangeley.
It is in Rangeley.
Yeah, I'm in between Aquasic and Rangeley.
We'd like your road and social security number too while you're at it.
Somebody was in the store the other day, and we got talking. I was like, "Oh yeah, Dixie's got a place up there," and they're like, "Oh, where is it?" I'm like, "I can't tell you." And they're like, "What?" I'm like, "I just don't know. Like, I tell you, but
Yeah, we 2 years ago, my wife found it and was adamant about getting it, and we love it up there. It's a wonderful part of the great state of Maine. The community is awesome. It's close to Saddleback. It's close to Sugarloaf. Yeah, so I've been spending some time up there.
Nice. Jed?
Been propped up at a bar stool here at the Woodshed. Last few weeks down in Lincolnville. We got a couple of camps going down in Lincolnville, so.
Which is beautiful too.
Maddie and I have been traveling back and forth daily down there, but.
Yeah. Back down on Pitcher Pond.
Yeah, love Pitcher Pond. Christ, is beautiful.
Or we could spend a whole summer down there. Yeah, so we got a couple projects across the pond from the fish camp and right next to the Wolfingers. And a couple of the guys actually brought the campers down, been tenting out, been really loving it.
Yeah, Josh and Andy, like you said, they've just been tenting out, staying at the camps we're working at.
Yeah, well, one thing with the pandemic is like we haven't gone away in a long time. And it hasn't been that bad.
I'm okay with it.
I think everyone, when you go away all summer long, that it's fun for the first time, but then the novelty wears off. So some people I think people like to go away for maybe a week.
Justin was pretty excited to go away.
How about a night?
One of the guys who's been with us for forever, since he was 15, has a Toyota 4Runner, and he's got the sleeper tent on top.
The tent pops out of it.
He's got the tow hitch for a couple of hammock swings on it.
It's awesome.
He's like, when we headed up to Moosehead? I'm like, we're going to Lincolnville. It's like 20 minutes away from his house, so he was a little bummed out, but he'll find somewhere to use it.
Oh yeah. He's been looking for camping sites.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we've got some. Justin's been with us since we started working with my father when he was 15. I mean, we've been extremely fortunate with the guys we have working with us.
Very fortunate.
We've got some guys who've been with us for a long time. Brad, went through high school, college, then came back to work for us. Schmitty's in college now.
Got some high school kids.
Yep, some recently graduated.
Masters. No, they're the Z Masters, right?
Z Masters,
yeah.
Corbin and Cam, what do you guys call yourself? Wait, it's been a lot of, my nephew Corbin works for us, and then our nephew Gavin, Cam, having these young kids work for us has been quite a hoot.
Well, with Brad, Brad said he was going to quit college and just come work for us full time. And as soon as he said that, Ryan was like, we will fire you instantly.
Yeah.
But he came back.
Yep.
Yep, and Schmitty's going to UMO. so he comes back for the summer.
We'll see about
It's-
that.
Smitty's learning.
Tell him the couch story.
He took a couch from one of the camps we demolished a couple weeks ago.
It was absolutely disgusting.
No, it wasn't. No.
I mean, it was a pretty
No.
worn leather couch.
Come on, think about this.
When you're in a
He lives
house
in a
with
frat house, and it's a leather couch out of this camp.
It was huge,
It
too.
was old, but you got to go back. You got to put your mindset in a college kid. I mean, that's a leather couch in college.
Yeah.
And he was so excited. He thought about it for a while. Should I do it? Should I not do it? Because he would have had to like bring it to his house and put it in his parents' garage.
He drives a little Subaru, and he's trying to find a
So
way
he'd
to
have
get
to
this
borrow
huge
one of our
leather
trucks.
couch.
I'm like, Schmitty, if you're thinking about it too much, if you don't do it, you're gonna regret it. And then we're all like, yeah, this couch is gonna. Imagine that couch going from like a family-owned camp in Central Maine to a frat house in Orono. I mean, talk about a second life.
I hope it gets burned when he's done with it.
But, I mean, Schmitty came back last. I mean, it's crazy because he started with us. He was a little kid, and then he comes back. He's got a full beard and a tattoo, and like.
Hey, didn't he job shadow with us? Didn't he?
Yep.
Oh, that's a great story. So it's at Miranda Cook, it's career day or something. So everyone's like, I'm gonna be a firefighter. I'm gonna be a policeman, or so firefighting kids think a fire truck's gonna pick them up, or a police car. And then Schmitty, I'm gonna be a carpenter. So someone's gonna come in with a really badass truck, and his steel-toed shoes on. Nope. Chase pulls in with a minivan and his pink Crocs.
He's still got in the van anyway.
Yeah, he's still with us today.
Yeah, he's still working with us.
He's a good kid.
Yeah.
No, they've been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And they're happy to be there and excited.
They are.
I look back, I'm like, I don't like I did landscaping for my grandfather for like $5 an hour, like 10 hours a week. Like,
Well, that's it. They're just putting a little ching in their pocket. So.
right. And it's fun to see what they spend their money on.
If you even see what they're spending their money on.
But I mean, so these guys, we work, and they're working 40 hours a week, making good money. And what's the minimum wage now? I mean, $12 an hour or something.
Yes,
It's a good question.
14.
I don't know.
50, 14.
What do we pay you?
15.
Millions.
Yeah.
You deserve it. But yeah, I mean, like, so Corbin had his socks and his golf clubs, and they all have the nice little Subarus.
I know what he needs to spend his
Motorboat.
money on. A muffler.
I can't remember what I used to spend my money on. Gas.
Right? Yeah, exactly. But no, we're just cranking away. I mean, summer is the time to get the camps done. We know it's not going to last forever. The summer, good weather, so.
Especially when the time changes, too.
Yeah. We're.
Gets dark at 3:30 up here.
Yeah, then it's hunting season. Like, things do slow down. Like, seasons.
Yeah.
Things are going on.
Yeah. And you just got your Sea-Doo back
Just
recently?
got Sea-Doo back, yep. It seems like once a summer I have an issue with that thing. It puts me out for a couple weeks, but yeah, headed down to Connecticut in 2 weeks to run the Connecticut River.
Oh,
Are
nice.
you bringing the Sea-Doo down there?
Yeah.
Yeah, you said you had a good time.
Yeah,
last
there's
time.
like 6 or 8 of us. We're going to take our Sea-Doos down the Connecticut River, head to Block Island probably. Should be a good trip.
And so a couple months ago, you guys were on a big hunting podcast, right? I mean, you guys were on there for like 2 or 3 hours. Like, just, it was amazing how long you guys, what podcast was that?
Big Buck Registry.
Yeah, Big Buck Registry.
Big Buck Registry.
Yep.
Those guys were awesome. One of them was a retired New Hampshire game warden. But yeah, we sat there and we talked hunting in the outdoors for, like you say, 2 hours, 3
yeah.
hours. Jen was yelling at us because we had her computer.
You know,
Guys, I need my computer. I got to go home.
I think we've all said before, like, we always thought if we were going to be on TV, it'd probably be on Northwoods Law and not our own show.
Or Cops.
Yeah. Thank goodness they've moved out of the state.
All right.
Wait, can I ask
All
a
right,
question?
Maggie.
So I meant to ask Ashley, but, we get asked this question all the time. It's like, we're in Maine for only a certain amount of time. Like, what should we go see? And so I want to know what you guys think is something that must see for somebody staying in this area.
In this area.
Yeah, 2-3 hour, within 2 or 3 hours.
So the whole state.
Jared.
Anything north of Skowhegan, get up there and find Maine. I tell a lot of people if you've been north of Freeport, you've been to Maine. Freeport south, you're in northern Massachusetts. I love the southern part of the state. I love all of the state of Maine, but you want to go north. You want to go to where there's fewer people, where these cabins that we love to work on are everywhere, all along the sides of the roads and the sides of the rivers and the lakes and the ponds. And you see some of these lakes that you drive by up north, and on the far side of the lake, as far as you can see, there's just this one little cabin all by itself, and somebody's got to take a boat to get there. There's no road access or anything, and but Rangeley, Moosehead area.
Yeah, what would you say, Dixie?
Well, being from the great state of Maine, we're very fortunate to be blessed with the mountains and the ocean. So I would highly recommend going to Camden Hills, Rockport, Rockland area to just enjoy the beautiful Penobscot Bay. But I'm also love the mountains, Rangeley, Height of the Land, Moose Lick, Rangeley Lake, Quill Hill, Sugarloaf, Western Mountains, and northern
They don't
Maine.
call him Matless for nothing.
It's all beautiful, and it's all what you have time for. So, of course, it takes about 10 hours to get from one point to the other. So, Maine's a pretty big state, and you got to kind of just focus on what you want. And I mean, it'd be nice to be able to go from Fort Kent to Lubec, back down to Kittery. But
A week is not long enough.
Not long enough.
Not at all.
Nope.
I was fortunate when I worked for the state. I worked on the paint crew. I went around and I painted roads, Kittery to Fort Kent, Eastport to Bethel, like every railroad crossing, every turn arrow, like all over the state. So I was very lucky to be able to see it all.
We all think we're Maine experts, and as the show's gone on, it's taught me like how different Maine is, the different areas, like
from northern
it's
Maine.
It's amazing. Like when we went to Italy, it's like Italy's so different in each region. Like you could spend a month there, and you really could spend a month in Maine, because from the the working coast to the
Down
recreational
east.
coast,
Oh, yeah.
to the all over the place. It's just so different.
Yeah.
It's so many-
There's a couple here staying above Skowhegan, Pawnee Lake or Pawnee, something like that. Pawnee? Yep, and I'd never heard of, there's so many
Never
lakes you
heard
just never hear, but they're, within an hour's drive, so tons of places like that around.
and you can get there from here, no matter what they say, right?
Yeah.
What you got, Max?
Are you ready now?
We are, Maggie.
Time for a little Q&A.
Don't look at my questions.
Trying to cheat on the test.
She yelled at me too, Ryan.
Oh, you got the look too.
Okay. Are we ready?
Yes.
We think.
We know Chase learned building from his dad. How did you both learn?
I, at a young age, was always fascinated with
Legos
and building.
Lincoln Logs.
I was fortunate enough to live in a neighborhood where there were a bunch of educators, and a lot of times in the summer, those guys would turn into carpenters. So I can remember when I was young, my next door neighbors had Denny Olson and Tom Wells and a bunch of our school teachers come over, and they built a garage for them. And I always kind of had an idea growing up that I wanted to build stuff, but it wasn't until my mid to early 20s that I started doing construction. And then I worked for Ryan's dad on Maine DOT on bridge maintenance for 7 years, and I just got into construction that way, pretty much.
I grew up on a farm. You just, something breaks, you have to learn to fix it. There's nobody coming in to do it. You got to do it yourself. But other than that, over the years, just was able to fine tune my father's chainsaw and sledgehammer carpentry.
Well, that's part of what's being a Mainer is. You just, you're out in the middle of nowhere. You're up to camp. You have to find a way to fix it. You know.
I just want to say Friday night we were at the Pittston Fair, and last season all fairs were closed. So Jedi's from Pittston, and he asked if we wouldn't mind going out to the Pittston Fair. I just want to say what a great community that was,
Awesome.
and how well everybody spoke of you. It was really impressive.
Pittston's amazing.
Yeah, it really, and it was a fun fair.
Great little
I think we
town.
all had a great time, and it was much appreciated.
Cool.
Man, we eat some good but bad for you food.
Oh, the food's awesome.
We're all trying to take pictures, and all of a sudden one person's gone. We're like, well, where'd Dixie go? And he's over there with a plate of French fries, and Ash is over there with some lemonade.
I had 3 plates of French fries.
And then what? How was the rock crawl? I didn't make it over the rock crawl.
Yeah, they had 4x4 rock crawl event. They had awesome fireworks. They got me on one ride. It was one ride.
Where'd you go on?
I don't know, the tornado. I just had to sit there and stare at the center the whole time.
Oh, I'm still afraid of the zipper to this day.
Yeah, the kids went on the big one though.
Where'd you go? What was the big one? The zipper?
The skydiver.
Like Ferris
That went
wheel
upper.
one.
Oh, yeah.
It was a
It's
good
a
one.
Ferris wheel that spins you at the same time.
Oh, remember the Gravitron? I remember getting off that in high school. Puking, like, oh.
I think Dougie had the most fun at the fair the other night, though.
I invited Doug. I don't know where he is.
Yeah, we thought Doug the plumber was going to be here with us today, but
he may wander in.
Yeah.
I think he's had a good time this weekend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. What is your favorite memory from the show?
That's a good question.
Lost Cabin Hunters. Heading up to the Allagash. Something that probably isn't going to be seen anywhere. Our very first pilot episode, we went way up north to Chase's uncle's camp.
9 Mile.
9 Mile, up on the St. John River. And it was...
In March.
In March.
In a snowstorm.
Yeah, it was wild.
8 hours? 8-hour drive up there?
Yeah, it was for the History Channel.
Yep.
And but we were
like
just so
30
happy with
pack
that. Like,
and a half
we
of
thought
Jamesons.
that's all it was going to be. Like, how cool was that? We got paid like $25 an hour. We had a chef on site, and we were up there for 3 weeks, literally in the Allagash.
We snowmobiled and four-wheelered and took all our gear up in there. And, yeah, that was... The start of it all was my most memorable.
That was a good time.
Remember them trying to make us... They wanted us to take a picture, and we couldn't have our sunglasses on, and it was like... You know, it was a March day, and it just snowed. And I don't know if you guys, like... If you wear sunglasses all the time, we couldn't have our sunglasses on. Our eyes are burning. Like, it took forever. Like, and they would not, like, let that go.
Yep.
It was good times. And then we went back, 3 weeks later?
Yeah, finished it up, and we got out of there right before the floods. I mean,
it flooded. That's
So
been
History
down.
Channel didn't pick it up, and looking back at it, thank God, because the premise of that show was fighting our way into these old cabins in the middle of nowhere and bringing all the materials in, and I mean it was a lot of work.
Yeah.
But then 6 months later, we like you guys, we think we could have something here, so that's when we went to Vassalboro and did the Weber camp, and
Which that first shot, they wanted us to be actors, not carpenters. Like, I mean, the one...
We saw bears.
The one segment that I'll never forget is they had me in the outhouse.
With his pants down.
Here's a union suit, Maggie.
My union... I did have a union
Soon
suit.
to be for sale.
I had a pistol on my belt, and these guys were sitting around the campfire eating baked beans and hot dogs. And they had one of the PAs running through the bushes in a black jumpsuit to pretend it was a bear. So I had to scramble to pretend that there was a bear running around the cabin that these guys were sitting at eating dinner. And thank God that show never got picked up.
It's true.
We are not actors.
But it was fun.
Yeah, that was a good
It
one.
was fun. Remember how good the food was? They brought a cook up there. Oh, the food was so good.
The baked potatoes.
The baked potato bar.
Oh, those were delicious.
The History Channel does it right, everybody. We love you, DIY. But
Yeah, we do not have a cook on set anymore.
Yeah, the one point.
Okay.
Are you ready, Maggie?
For what?
For Dixie's next answer.
No. If you had to eat a crayon, which color crayon would you eat?
All right, who's guilty of that one?
I always ate glue when I was a kid.
That explains a lot.
Maggie.
Are these fans' questions or your questions?
Not mine.
Crayon. Grape.
Great.
Well, that's a good one. That's
not a color.
Well, there is. Crayola makes scented crayons, right?
Yep.
I'd eat a grape crayon.
If they made black,
smallest one?
black raspberry, I'd probably eat that one.
Those are
Mint chocolate
flavors, not
chip.
colors.
Okay, purple.
I go brown so it looks the same. She didn't get my joke.
I just ignored your joke.
That a girl, Maggie.
This question is for Dixie. Can you whistle?
Somebody
Whistling.
wants to hear a whistling Dixie.
I learned it from Uncle Mike, Ryan's dad. Whistling Dixie. Yes, I can whistle.
Dixie, Julio, and Mikey down by the schoolyard. The Whistling Dixie is a good sandwich.
Okay. And
I
we'll
like
do
chasing your dreams.
Me too.
we'll do one last question. Do you do beard maintenance?
In terms of like
Actually, no, I have
manicuring,
one after this
shaving.
one.
You don't color it. Sorry.
I definitely don't color it. I'm just afraid if I cut it or color it, it's all gonna fall out.
Oh, you know what? I shouldn't admit this, but like when I was in my 30, 35, I started like pick the white hairs, and someone says like you should not do that, and I did that for like I don't know why.
You didn't color him?
I'm going to say that's a farce because I definitely
You
pull
pick
some
yours?
I will pull some grays. And I've done it for a couple of years.
Now you know he's not married, so there's no white hair in his beard.
Yeah. My stress levels are a lot different than everybody else's.
Because if you guys watch the show, none of this white and gray was here before I met my morals.
No, you would.
That's
you're
not true.
Right.
You
You're
knew us
absolutely
before. Just didn't work with us.
I didn't know Maggie.
All right, now I have one last question for Jedi. This one's from YouTube. What did you think of the Bolts winning the Stanley Cup for the second year in a row?
Go Bolts, you know. Yeah, they worked hard. They played hard all season long. There's one guy on the team. This was his third consecutive Stanley Cup in a row. Like,
Nice.
unheard of.
Wow.
Like,
Speaking about hockey, I mean, the Woodshed's becoming the place for former NHL players.
yeah, we
Right?
had
two the other.
Ty Conklin.
Ty Conklin and Eric Weinrich in here. We had a Dash release party, and those guys came in, heard about it, but
How are they at cornhole?
That's a big deal in Maine.
Ty Conklin, ex-NHL goalie, is really good at cornhole. He's really good at wrestling and fighting. And
Are you going to get the cornhole going after this?
yeah, right now we've been Wednesday nights. Just kind of pick up cornhole every Wednesday night. There's also a running club on Wednesday nights here.
Does everybody know what cornhole is?
If you can beat Jedi at cornhole, he'll get in the dunk tank.
All right, after
I'll
that.
take that.
Was that it?
That was it for questions.
All right.
Well,
All
thank
right,
you guys.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us,
Yeah.
guys. Thanks for coming in. Everybody, thanks
you,
for watching.
everybody.
We appreciate it.
We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back.
Yeah, we'll be back with Tim Cotton, one of our favorite guests from season 2.
Kennebec Cabin Company is the home of the hit television show Maine Cabin Masters. We feature unique items from Maine artists and craftspeople, as well as a full line of Cabin Masters logo wear and merchandise. Located just west of Augusta and open 7 days a week during the summer, come on by for all your gifts and gear. It's destination retail in central Maine. Visit us online at KennebecCabinCompany.com.
Welcome to Belgrade Lakes.
We're the Maine Cabin Masters, and we're excited to be working with Dan McCarran and his team at Lake Point Real Estate.
If you're looking for your dream property in Maine, be sure to check them out through our website.
Come visit us at
KennebecCabinCompany.com. See you there.
This isn't about food. This isn't about money. It's not. It's about what feeds my soul. I love my customers. They can go anywhere and eat. They come here. It will be a debt I'll never be able to repay, ever. And I know that. But that keeps me going. That keeps me going. I feel as though every day that goes by, I have an obligation to be the best person I can. I've been here 44 years. I have seen and made so many monumental mistakes, and I've had to learn from them. What I love is the challenge, because this is still tenuous, and I don't think that's going to go away anytime soon. I'm only open because I've been given the strength to do that by people who believe in me as much as I believe in them. And that's going to sound a little corny because this is just a chicken joint. This is just a chicken joint. And this is part of a bigger picture. I want everybody to feel comfortable. If you drive by, you want to feel the love. I want you to feel that. See, this is about emotion. And it's difficult to convey that with food, but every single time I'm in line, I say, order one and share it. To be able to have or afford the opportunity because of people that help me, I can help others. And then that help goes to help. You help people that people love, and they'll help people that people love. And then the love, which is really genuine, can spread. And it doesn't mean any more than a comment. It's not money. It's not chicken. It's not food. This isn't really even a restaurant. I think it's a gathering place.
Oh, what a feeling. Putting pine on the ceiling.
We really burned through this pile.
That was over 4,000 lineal feet of eastern white pine.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a versatile wood. I mean, we've used it for the ceiling with whitewash. We did the center bead with wainscoting.
V-mats for sheathing.
Yeah.
We'll rip up whatever's left for trim.
We use it for flooring, siding.
You know, where else can you get 3 different uses out of one board or 4 different uses, you know?
I mean, yeah, this is perfect. This is one small product, but we've been able to use it in so many different ways. It's really a versatile wood.
And it's all sourced from Maine and New England and eastern white pine.
Sustainably harvested.
We like to say throw the pine at it. We do that a lot. So now it's throw the eastern white pine at it.
Trademark pending.
Trademark pending. Throw it.
Thanks, Nelma.
Introducing the Ask This Old House podcast from the team at This Old House, the PBS series that inspired a generation of home enthusiasts. Each week, our experts share exceptional home improvement advice with homeowners from around the country. Plus, you'll learn tips and tricks to tackle your toughest projects with confidence, from electrical issues to landscaping ideas and so much more. Subscribe to Ask This Old House wherever you get your podcasts.
now. Kennebec Cabin Club, the Maine Cab Masters live podcast that I watched.
Don't watch it while you're doing it.
Maybe I won't. Oh, we're back.
Well, I think we're back in the groove now. Are we back?
I don't know.
Yeah?
We're back.
And we're back.
Wow.
Everybody,
All right.
we're back. Woohoo.
Magic.
Yay!
And we are back with Tim Cotton. Tim Cotton's a Maine author, lieutenant with the Bangor Police Department, and this says internationally known for the creator of Duck of Justice.
Yes.
I don't know if it's international, but at least as far as Winnipetlock and a little bit south.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us in person.
Yeah,
We
thanks
appreciate
for
it.
having me.
Last time it was on Zoom, and
Yeah, I had a Christmas tree behind me.
Yeah.
That was a good time, though.
it was.
Yeah.
It was for sure.
Fun. Yeah.
Things are finally getting back to normal somewhat.
Yeah, it feels it. I think people are still a little bit, there's a little trepidation, but I think, we're seeing a big uptick in our visitors at the station. And, yeah.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, cuffed and most cuffed.
That means life's going back to normal.
Some uncuffed. But, yeah, we've had a really big uptick in tourists at the station this summer to see the Duck of Justice and to visit with us. And so we're pretty happy that at least for now, it seems like we've got things under control in Maine. I hope it continues. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it seems like it's a busy summer all around for tourists and everything. I mean,
Just driving south today because I don't leave that area very often, but we were just talking in the truck on the way down that this is incredible compared to last summer taking a trip because you could go anywhere in Maine and you had zero lines, zero issues, no car. And so coming down today, I was like, what is going on with this? Where do these people come from? And there you are. Yeah.
And for those of you guys that don't know, Tim is the author of the Bangor Police Department Facebook page.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing Facebook page. It's just taken on a life of its own because of the humor, the style of writing, and the honesty that Tim comes forward with. I mean, you're pretty popular around here. You got a lot more followers than we do.
Well, I mean, I've been doing it a little bit longer,
Yeah.
but you've got a television show, so
Yeah.
I basically have a television.
All right.
Yeah, so, we've got about 340,000 followers now.
340,000.
Yeah, and so we're probably one of the largest Facebook pages in the country, but we've done it through maybe not making fun of suspects, more making fun of ourselves, which I think is important. And I think that's why not only your skills as carpenters extraordinaire, but also the self-deprecation of a Mainer, which I think is what I think we're just watching here today. You can see that your crew everybody is willing to just say, yeah, I'm just a guy from wherever, I'm a girl from wherever, and I've done okay. And we make fun of ourselves because it's enjoyable.
You're not being
and it's
judgmental,
true.
though. You're telling it like it is.
Yeah,
There's a difference there.
Yeah, I think
you're
so.
just telling the story like it is.
Yeah.
The judgment will come later, but you guys tell a unique story. And
yeah, we've had a lot of fun with it. We've got, we have a unique mascot, which is a duck, which is strange, but it was a dead duck. And it's stuffed, and it was found in a trash can years ago by me. We put it out there on our social media channels, and basically just had it kind of hiding in some of the early posts, and people kept asking, "Hey, what's up with that duck?" And we wouldn't answer them. We just have the beak in a picture with a cop and a beak and a ride around in the cruiser. And it became such a thing, and it's very strange what takes off, as we know. And so this duck became a national icon, and then we had to put it in a museum under glass. Basically an upside-down aquarium we found on Birch Street on trash day. Because we got a really big budget there. It was like $8, and that was just for a cleaner. And it became so big, we have thousands of visitors a year that come to the lobby to have a picture with the Duck of Justice. As a matter of fact, while we're talking about the Duck of Justice, so we came up with this shirt last year. I brought you, Maggie, one, and you guys one, too.
Thank you.
It's some people will know what it's from, but it's called
Duck Abides.
The Duck Abides, and if you're a fan of some movies, which I won't mention because I don't want to be sued again. And then we have on the back, we have our closing statement, which is keep your hands to yourself, leave other people's things alone, and be kind to one another. And that's a quote we use. But I brought one for you guys.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you.
And I brought one for Maggie.
And if you guys think we're funny, you need to go to his page because he's funny.
I'm a real gas. Maggie?
Thank you.
I'm only giving her the shirt so she's not harsh on me up here. Because this kid, I watched the podcast. just to watch her scold people. It's awesome.
Yeah.
For you. No, it's great. So thanks for having me.
She does a heck of a job.
I'll
We're
tell
not
you
an
what,
easy bunch.
No, it's incredible to watch her just work the magic.
Thank
I love
you.
it. Yeah, it's really good. So, yeah, I appreciate you having me, and I appreciate coming down. And I knew there'd be a huge crowd, of course, and obviously you folks have done so much for the state of Maine, and we appreciate it too.
Yeah. So your first book has been out for a while.
Yeah,
Detective in the Dooryard.
Detective in the Dooryard.
And you can buy it here today.
You can pick a copy up over at my friendly sales staff.
Yes.
over there.
Nice.
Kim Drew, your kind PR person from somewhere south of here.
And how much are those going for?
I'm selling it for $20, which is under list because Amazon's beating me right now on their prices. So I had to sell it for $20 signed. You're welcome. Oh, we can hold it up. That's what people do. They hold them up. And there are actually words inside, so you know a cop could write. Well, look, a blank
Maggie, you got
page.
$20 on you?
Yeah. We'll hook you up.
No.
So as you can see them at the back. We'll take cards, chip cards. I just opened a Square account because, selling it. Sometimes I sell them off the tailgate in the parking lot somewhere. So I want to have them around. So yeah, thanks for your support. I have a new one coming out in October, and this one did really well, and it's been panned by the critics not badly, and there's some mispronunciations in there. I mean, we're from Maine, so we don't say it all right.
Well, your new book's called Got Warrants.
Got Warrants, which is a section in this book, and it's a piece that we did that's very well followed nationally.
Not lately.
Yeah, not yet. Right? After today, there may be a couple up here, but Got Warrants is basically pays homage to the police beats of past. Only we kind of make it a little more creative and make it funny. We never use names, never use pictures, never make fun of the person, but we make fun of the situation and cops because, frankly, we should be made fun of sometimes. And it's going to be a great book. It's a smaller book. It's a gifty book. It comes out in October. And actually, I just talked to Izzy, retail manager. We're going to carry the book here.
Nice.
And I'm going to do a signing down here sometime in October for the new one. So I appreciate that.
Have you seen our library?
I have not seen the library yet.
So it's the old two-seater outhouse that's
Still there.
Hey, listen. I just got off a two-seater at camp like 2 hours ago.
It seemed fitting.
Yeah, I like that. No, that's perfect. Yeah. I'm surprised you had toilet paper, not a catalog.
There is a Sears catalog in the two-seater.
Yeah, I always use the toy section.
Have you guys ever seen more than the two-seater? I think I've seen
I've seen a 3 at a farm in western Maine. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a close family.
Yeah, and it was 2, and then you had the upper. There was an upper deck. So, yeah, no, it's awesome, though, because the 2 are on the side like a throne, this middle one, and you could, that's going behind you, so you're cleared, and these 2 are lower. It's almost like a fighter squadron thing.
Running the pattern.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. I wanted to use the top one. I just didn't have to go right then.
Now, what is the true theory behind a two-seater? It's not necessarily so you and the missus can go in together, is it?
I think it's a big family. If you have a family farm, and the 2 kids have to go at the same time. I believe. Usually they're on farms.
I didn't want to believe that. I always thought it's like one side gets a little use, you switch to the other side. Like, I didn't think we are going to be in there holding hands doing our thing. But
Well, you don't necessarily have to hold hands. I mean,
you guys don't do that at home?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty crafty way to get everybody involved. So
yeah. So have you gotten any more adept at social media? Are you on TikTok with the Duck of Justice?
No, I don't do video. I just do words. I did everything absolutely the opposite of what I was told to do, and it worked. So I left it, and I haven't tried to change that. I think a lot of people try to adapt to the. We have a Twitter account which like the chief handles sometimes, but but on my own social channels, I stay with Facebook, and I've opened a website, and so I did long form writing on Facebook, which was absolutely unheard of, and I was trashed by social media professionals. But the page grew, by thousands of people a week, and I said, well, I'm not going to stop. You can tell me whatever you want, but if it works, let's do it.
Yeah.
And so I did, and it stayed with it. So I'm staying with the same thing. I'm not doing video. I'm not going to fall into that trap. Not very attractive on the TV. And, so
we all got faces for radio.
Yeah, I have face for radio. I was in radio earlier in my life, years ago. So, I've done nothing new. I basically have my own TimCottonWrites.com, Tim Cotton Writes at Facebook, and then we do the Bangor PD page. I do that separately because a lot of people, some of the writing was not fitting. Some of the stuff from this book, some of it came from the pages. But I do a lot of longer form writing that needed to be somewhere else, so I keep it on my own thing.
How do you decide what is appropriate for a Facebook page for the Bangor PD and what should be on your?
I try to keep it centric to the cops and the people that come see us. So what I did was, this duck thing. If you go to the Bangor Maine Police on Facebook, you'll see people like yesterday and today that came in from all over the country. We've had them come in from Australia, China, and they come to have a picture with the duck. So right now I write a little bit, and I might take something from my own Facebook page if it's an endearing story that relates to Maine. I'll throw those on the page. But overall, I like to tell the story of the cops, tell the story of the arrests, and I guess I do it all by feel, and if it feels right, I do it, and it's worked so far. Knock on wood, right?
Now, did you have a writing background before this?
No,
or?
not at all. Not really. No, I was horrible in school, and I continue to be a horrible writer. But people bought it and they like it. It's I guess, and it's pretty simple stuff. But I wouldn't say I had a background. I did a little newspaper, like short articles years ago when I worked in radio. Our owner had a small newspaper, so I do some stuff for him. But overall, my writing is pretty much started oddly. Most people want to write a book and then do social media. I did social media, and from that grew the book, and then we just continue with the writing. So I've kind of gone the opposite way,
Is it amazing the power of social media? Like we fought it for a while. Like
you can't.
And
I mean,
it's amazing how it can promote. Like in this day and age, it can promote like your writing and your page, and then like our like we wouldn't be where we are without social media.
No, I think it's a necessary evil, but I think sometimes it can be evil. I think, but people have used it. It's too easy for some people to write on social media because they turn into
they can hide behind it.
Yeah, they're a villain there, but a softie on the street, and they love to just criticize. But I think that comes with everything. It's almost too easy. But you also can't let that bother you. If you feel like you're doing the right thing and you see the more positive effects, you're going to see the trolls and you're going to see the people that are naysayers. But social media in connection with your business. But for me, it made me. I mean, it built my writing, and then the publishers came and asked, "Hey, do you want to write a book? Would you like to use?" And it was the odd way to go, and it worked for me. But who knows? I see a lot of great authors that have a very small social media presence, and like when I share their stuff, they'll have a huge boost. So it's nice to have the tool and know how to use it. I've also helped other good authors or excellent authors. So, and the good thing about writers is interestingly enough, I have had some really good support from Craig Johnston, a Longmire series, and Joseph Wambaugh, who was a great police writer in the 70s and still one of the greatest, true crime police writers there ever was. He's given me support. So I found a lot of support, and we met through social media. And so for me, it's been a boon. So,
yes. It really breaks down walls. Like, cool thing we see is like all these small artists and craftsmen in Maine. Like, it gives you a storefront that's worldwide. So there is a lot of good stuff that comes from.
No, absolutely. I don't think
But man, did we fight it? We
some of us
fought
still
it.
do.
Chase fought it for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, Matt, you're still running his page, right?
Sometimes.
I know. I send him messages on Instagram all the time. He never responds to me.
Yeah.
I stopped taking it personal though about 2 years ago.
Now you live in Bangor. Have you ever had a run-in with Stephen King?
Well, yes, absolutely. I worked for him for years.
Okay.
He didn't teach me to write, so and he would tell you that. I was in radio for years. I worked at his radio rock and roll station when I was a kid from 1983 to 1988. I worked for ZON, which is his AM side rock and roll station. Did a morning show, so I had a lot of run-ins with him there. I mean, obviously we're not tight, we're not hanging.
Not like us.
A few years ago, when I think when one of them there's been a couple of its that have come out, and we ran up to his house to see if he'd get a picture with the Duck of Justice. So I called one of the old fellows that knew him, that works for the radio station now. I said, "Hey, do you think he'd take a picture with a duck and a red balloon? I'd just like to put it on the page." He goes, let me make a call. So he's like, he's at his house, go up and see him. So he came out after breakfast, and he was real kind and did a picture for us, and we've had him on the page. And so, he's a Maine icon, obviously a worldwide icon.
Yeah.
And now I know that for most of my career, I don't drive down West Broadway in Bangor because I know I'm going to run into 30 fans parked all over the side of the road. You just drive. We go way around the street because it's always packed with people taking his photos. So he's been a great, he's brought a lot to Bangor for sure, and he's done a lot for the city of Bangor.
Absolutely.
So I can't say we're tight, but he's been a friend to us for sure.
Nice. And any books in the future?
Well, I have a contract for two more, including this one, and then I'm working on a novel that should be out probably next summer sometime, and so I'm going to try my fingers in the fiction world. A lot of my stuff is fact-based fiction in here. The short stories, the cop series, they're basically written from a cop's point of view, but they're real cop stories. The people who write most crime novels aren't cops. They're mostly ladies who really have a great imagination and writing skills. But the mysteries that you read, they aren't cops, mostly. And I wrote these more from a street cop's perspective of what we see and what we feel. And so there's a big section of the book called The Cops. And that was like an anonymous police officer written as an anonymous cop. And these stories were told. So that was partial fiction. I used a lot of facts, obviously, when I did it. But I didn't want to name people or cops. Because I think all cops truly, and I call them cops. People always say to me, it's not respectful to call. I said, that's what we call ourselves. We're cops. That's what we do. So there's a big section of the book, and I think you'll see some of that in the fiction, the story. And so that'll be good. That's due next year. And then I have one more after that. And if this fails, then I won't. And, whatever. I'll go to camp.
That's
right?
a lot of pressure, though. Like
it is. It's more when I was writing for fun and I had no deadlines. Now with deadlines, I know you deal with deadlines as every day, but when you're writing and my significant other comes to Maine. She lives out of state sometimes, so when she's home, we were just talking about on the way down here. She shuts me down. I write. I'm alone a lot, so I write a lot. And I go to camp and I write at camp, and once you're told you've got to do so many words, all of a sudden you can't remember squat. Right? Do
you have a certain time that you like? Are you a night writer or morning writer?
Well, I get up at about 3:30 or 4, and I write for a couple hours in the morning before 6.
Yeah.
And then I go to work, and so that's the time when it's the quietest and it's nice in the morning, and the dog's on the lap, and it's just the house coffee, and it's easy to write then for me. I can't write late at night typically, but sometimes you feel it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I like to write at camp, like it's quiet and peaceful, and no one's bothering you, and you have a lot of there's a lot of input when you're in the woods in Maine. There's a lot of it's really it invigorates you to do something. And when it gets dark out and you've got nothing to do and you don't want to be in the outhouse with a bear with your pants down, which is amazing.
You burned everything
in
inside.
I like that story best. I just want to see the guy running in the woods dressed as a bear.
Now you have a Maine Cabin Master project at your camp, huh? We've seen some pictures, and you've been plugging away on it yourself though a little bit.
We tear into it, yeah. I work at it. I built it myself, so it's a horrible rendition of a building. But I bought a second camp to keep people away from me when it was for sale, and then we're tearing that down this summer, the old one. And so we're working at it. Yeah, we're working at it. Yeah.
I would think if you can write, be a successful writer, then you can do what we do. You have that.
I can't build anything. I mean, that's the issue, right?
You can write how to do it.
You give me instructions, I'll make it shorter.
A lot of times we don't know what we're gonna do, and we just start and get after it. Like you do. You sit down there, you don't know what you're gonna do, and you.
Yeah.
Like I've told many people, how are you gonna do this? How are you gonna we don't really know, but if you put that first hole in the wall, you're gonna find a way to fix it.
Once you start.
Yeah, we usually just use caulking and duct tape for the first hole in the wall. But yeah, I see that, and I think seat of the pants maybe for some of us.
Yeah.
Planners are wonderful people. I don't profess to be one. And again, you said earlier, we were talking to the boys there, you have to fix things in Maine. Right. I mean, there's no plumber at my place, and so when something goes, you get there, you get a drawer full of parts, and you make the place work for the weekend, and then you say, well, it looks like it'll hold for a while, and then company shows up and it gives out that weekend, and you're back under the camp fixing it. So, yeah, I think it's seat of the pants.
I think being from Maine, we take a lot of things for granted, like that, like just fixing stuff, like. It's stuff you grew up with that. You found what you had.
Absolutely. You want a hardware store, but if there's none available, and that's why people have cans of screws.
Mm-hmm.
Endless. When some spouses will throw those out, you'll look for them. 2 days later, I know there was 2 eye bolts in there that I could have used to do this, right? So that's why you have these. That's why we become hoarders. I mean, you save everything from old jobs. You save straight nails that you find on the ground outside your place, and you put them in a jar because you know you're going to need them. And if you chuck them,
you'll
throw them away.
Need them
You
sooner.
definitely, you can write it the day after. Usually.
Yeah, you're going to need it. So yeah, you adapt, and I think you guys do a wonderful job of that.
Murphy's Law.
Right. Yeah. So I was talking with my son about you coming on the podcast.
Sure.
And saying you've been a cop for 30 years, so writing stories.
Sure.
And he wanted to know. He didn't care about that. He wanted to know about any cool animal stories as a cop, because you don't just deal with police.
Oh, no.
I mean, you deal with calls about roadkill.
Absolutely.
Bobcats in your dooryard. I mean,
yeah. I have baited a very angry raccoon out of a car.
Out of a car.
Well, you get a call late at night. They say, hey, I left my windows down, and there's a raccoon in my car, and they don't know what to do. But you show up because they call. You want some help.
Yeah.
So what we used was my bag of Cheetos.
Raccoons like Cheetos. You heard it here first.
They love Cheetos. They love Cheetos.
I mean, who doesn't love Cheetos?
And this was raccoons aren't as they're angry. They're rightfully so. And so this raccoon didn't want us bothering him. So basically, we opened the doors. We baited it with Cheetos to get out. So that worked out well. I've done that. I've thrown a lot of boards into dumpsters to let the raccoons walk out after they get trapped down inside. Let's see. I've collected a seal pup that got hit by when I worked at the Hamden Police Department on the Penobscot River, and a seal pup got cut in the tail by a prop.
Yeah.
And it was sitting on the shore. So I've been bitten by a seal pup. Because there's nobody around, and the New England Aquarium doesn't trap. They just say, put it in a kennel and get it to us. We'll take care of the seal. So I got elected. I was youngest. And
Elected.
So seal pups don't want to get in kennels, FYI. And so I got bitten by the seal pup, but we got it to the airport, shipped it to the New England Aquarium. I've been bitten by a lot of dogs, and I have a scar to prove one particular dog named Ninja was
appropriate name,
quarter wolf and 3/4 shepherd police dog. I was in the midst of wrestling with an individual that didn't want to go to jail, and the dog had been on its track. And so when the dog came out of the woods, I was on the ground, and he took the first thing he could see, which was my lower gluteus maximus.
So who has more teeth, seal pup or Ninja the police dog?
Ninja the police dog, he didn't let go very well because he had that quarter wolf. He was agitated all the time. So I have a scar, and whatever. I'm not going to show it today. It's a family event. So I've got there's a lot of animal stories, and we do it a lot. Bats. You get bats out of houses constantly because a lady will call, and there's a bat in here, and we'll go in there and use the same things, all the tools that everyone else uses, tennis racket, butterfly net, broom, whatever, to get it outside. So yeah, you do a lot of animal events. Yeah.
All right.
Never a boring day, though.
Are we ready
Not
for
yet.
questions now?
She's ready.
Nope.
Yeah.
Wait, I have another question.
No.
Are there any stories, you've got plenty of material for your books. Are there any stories you just have been told it can't go in a book?
Oh, yeah, I know better. I know better. No one has to tell me that, no one has to tell me. There's some things that have happened that are, one, embarrassing, which I don't mind telling embarrassing stories, but I think it builds rapport between you and someone else, but yeah, there's a lot. I did arrest a lady years ago. It's not in the book, but years ago we got called to a naked pool party, and which is fine. I don't care about the pool party, but they were driving lawnmowers naked out in the street, and
oh wow,
so
they crossed the boundaries right there.
Yeah, they were hammered, and it was a ladies' pool party, and so we went out and said, look, just keep it down, no more lawnmowers. Keep it in the fenced-in area.
No more lawnmowers.
But no more driving because OUI in Maine operating under the influence, a motorized vehicle. So a lawnmower, you can go to jail for OUI. Everybody thinks you can.
Now, if it was a push mower?
Push mower, no.
You're fine. All right. So you can push mow naked and drunk, guys. You'll be okay.
Yeah, the naked part really wasn't an issue for us. I don't care. So it was short. This was like 3 or 4 calls. And finally, the best part was the lady, well, one of the ladies, was a local, this is years ago, a local news anchor was at the party.
Oh, wow.
Well, she ran.
Juicy.
Well, she saw us coming. She ran with a blanket, and she knew better that this is the story I don't want told. Well, people kept calling, so we parked down the road from the party, and within 20 minutes, you hear a mower start up. And we're just crossing our fingers like, this is going to be awesome. So, and she came down the street naked with a cape. And,
Superman cape? Superwoman?
Yeah, well, she was a woman, so Superwoman, super lady, whatever she was.
God bless her.
Yeah, God bless her. So we took her to jail, and that was an embarrassing arrest because you're like, well, she was, naked with a cape on a John Deere at a pool party. So that's not in the book. I mean, there's a lot of stories like that. And some are much, more graphic and gruesome, but overall, it's a fun job. It's a great career, and I think that it's fun to see the things that you see.
Yeah.
Some things you can't unsee.
No, and she shouldn't have been naked on a lawnmower. But neither should I.
Okay, are we ready for questions now?
Give it to us.
Ashley used to sneak out of her house on a lawnmower.
Really?
Yeah.
And come over?
It's one of her stories.
Fully clothed.
Yeah, fully clothed, but she would sneak down the road in a lawnmower.
Nothing wrong with that.
You weren't doing it right, honey.
All right, I'm going to ask questions now. What advice would you give a young cop?
Try to find something to like in everybody you meet.
That's great advice.
I mean, even the bad. Well, I mean, there's nothing to clap about, but frankly, if you don't find something to like about even the worst heinous criminal, you're never going to have any relationship or conversation, and you need them to admit to doing what they did. So, the good cop, bad cop thing is kind of something from a 1962 detective movie. The fact is, bad cop. You don't buy a Subaru from a salesman you hate.
Chase and I still play that to this day on people.
But you gotta learn to like people even at their worst, because if you don't, you're gonna get nowhere in this job, and you got to drop it when you go home, and not because people do things and they still got some innate good in them, I think. So I think look for the good and try to eliminate the bad and find something to like about everybody.
Nice.
Okay.
What advice would you have for a young writer?
Don't do it.
Well, I might say that because I've had success based on something I did first. So I got to say my road's been easy. I don't think it's an easy road. No one wants to read your stuff, right? You send a book to somebody and they're like, yeah, right? Mm-hmm. You've got to find somebody who will read it. And those big agents that you're looking for in the big time, they read wonderful things all day. So I got to say, it's a frustrating way to start out, is to write a book and to send it in. Some people are very successful with that, But I mean, for me, I would say that try something else first. Short stories, maybe newspaper articles, maybe letters to the editor if you have to. Just get comfortable. And the other thing is get ready for some criticism, because man, it's available everywhere, right? I get more advice, and I'm like, I just kind of stay the course, because that's what I do. And even when I'm wrong, I'll say, well, I wrote it, it stands. You don't like it, there's tons of other stuff out there. So you just don't let the naysayers get you down. Keep trying, but maybe start with a blog. And go from there. I think that's the way to start.
As we know, there's always a critic, no matter what you do.
Yeah, I mean, if the world's full of them, and I've been one too. So we're not perfect, but prepare your armor. Wear it well.
Okay.
Shut up.
Next question. Hey guys, ready? Stop talking about union suits.
Will you stop, please? What is your favorite book to read?
My favorite book, I think, is called Nothing Like It in the World by Stephen Ambrose. Yeah, I mean, it's about the railroad. There's two books that he wrote, but one, the Lewis and Clark Expedition, but Nothing Like It in the World talks about the railroad being built across the country. And I'd always read about it, but when I read that book, it brought it to life because of so much the labor of the Irish and the Chinese and how, we always hear it one way, but if you realize who did the labor on that was immigrants, right? And it's all but impossible to do. And they did it at a time when they didn't have, an M18 to stuff into their Milwaukee, right? So, Nothing Like It in the World. I think that's one book I'd read if I was going to give that advice to anyone. I'd read that.
At least once, twice a day, we're reminded how tough people were back in the day. Like our multi-tool, like doing a plunge cut. Like, can you imagine? Like,
no.
We are so lucky and soft, like the things they used to do. Like,
yeah, when you look at a rough hewn, like even at my camp, I have a 110-year-old shed still standing, and it's all logs inside, and then they put boards where they had boards and used the bottom of a wine box, and I mean, but the place looks great. It's still standing on cedar posts, and you got to say the person who put that together, they did it. There was no road into the camp. There was no tools. There's no power. It's absolutely incredible. And then to watch the magnificent things we've done as Americans, you know, we got it easy. Yeah, we got it really easy. Yeah. And toilets that flush.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think this is probably our last question.
Bring it.
What makes it probably?
Will you stop interrupting me? Trying to read this question. What is the best part of your job?
Some days nothing. Frankly. But overall, I think when you do have a success story, you know, I've had some youngsters that I've dealt with that through their years because I've been doing this a long time, and I've gotten some letters from them, you know, people who really, there was no hope for some of these kids, and you tried to do what you could for them. When you know, as a local town cop, you don't have a lot of resources, but you're like, well, I'm going to do what I can for this kid or try to get him out of trouble. So I've had some that have gone to jail, gone to prison, but in the last couple of years, I've received, I can think of 2 individuals, an armed robber and an offender that did some more other horrible things. And I've received letters from them to say what we did, what I did to help them. Maybe they say thank you, and they're successful, the family. So there are these horrible cases that you walk away and you're like, I didn't do squat. I feel horrible, but I did what I could. But these kids later, they do remember that little incident, and it, you know, when they're in their 40s and they're writing you a letter to say, I just want to tell you that day you helped me. So yeah, I guess that's the best part. That would be the best part of the job. Success stories. Yeah.
Cool.
That means Maggie likes
it.
That's
great.
Ash is coming up real quick. And she's back.
And she's got a hammer.
Yeah. Oh, she's mad at you.
I think it's for you. It's got to be for you.
She's the Ashley of Justice. Look out.
Oh, this is so cool.
Officially part of the MCM club.
Wow. This is great. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Got a signed hammer. Thank you. That's really.
Yeah, Tim. We thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Hey, you know, it's good to close the show out because you know what? if they put me up there because when you start walking out, they can say, "Well, it wasn't us. It was that guy." Thank you.
And you guys, you really need to check out Tim's, the Bangor, Maine Facebook page and his other writing.
And don't forget his book, The Detective in the Dooryard.
Available at all bookstores, Amazon, and at my table, and soon to be available here at Kennebec.
In our two-seater.
In our two-seater.
Yeah, right. Put it on the top shelf.
Thank you, Tim.
Thanks.
Thanks for having me.
All right, we're going to take
The Lighthouse Wine and Seafood Market is a local shop known for the best Maine lobster rolls around. We offer Maine craft beers, a worldly selection of wines and cheeses, specialty sandwiches to go, sweet treats, and live or steamed lobsters and clams. Don't miss our fish case, fully stocked with coastal Maine favorites. Join the Lighthouse family as a Beer or Wine of the Month Club member, or stop in to ask about shipping lobsters anywhere in the U.S.
We never settle. We dare to transform your work, making it smarter, faster, and easier. In a word, better. We offer solutions for any type of decking, from game-changing hidden fasteners to better performing face screws. Each camo tool is designed to reduce your labor and speed up jobs. Rely on Camo for the deck top and beyond. Your trusted brand in exterior fastening. Camo, the better way to build a deck.
Spark your creativity with bold architectural metal wall and roof systems from Packlad. Add rich colors, wood grain finishes, and the texture of perforated metal to your next project. Our products are backed with expert support and technical tools from specification to installation. Proven performance. PackLad. Visit packlad.com or call 800-PackLad.
We're back, everybody.
We good? All right.
Yeah, thank you, Tim.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, everybody. And yeah, now we're back with a few questions. Now Ryan and I are in the hot seat.
And then we can listen to some rock and roll.
Are you ready?
We are ready.
Are you sure?
We are.
I'm nervous
right.
as heck.
Okay.
Never gets easy, does it, Chase?
No.
When we're in the
You're
hot seat.
still interrupting me.
You sound like your aunt.
Union suit.
Chase, do you always find what you are looking for in your truck?
The only time I don't find what I'm looking for in my truck is after I've cleaned it. I clean my truck.
Yeah, how often you clean? Not often.
Well,
Not often.
when to clean the front, the cab, and the bed is probably a once a year thing.
I think I've seen the bed clean like 2 or 3 times I can remember.
Yep. But for the most part, I have what I need in the truck unless I clean it. What's funny right now is we've got our nephew Gavin working with us, and he doesn't have a vehicle right now, so he's been driving my truck. So he's almost been my decoy. You know, he'll pull in here, do stuff. People will be like, hey, why didn't you stop? What are you doing? Where are you going? I'm like, oh, not me. So I can throw people off the track.
And you find out his defense, like when we've needed some stuff, like, and he knows where everything is in that truck. Like behind the left passenger seat, like behind this, behind that.
But it's the same idea as Tim was saying. Like, if it's in the truck, we'll find something in the truck that will work for what we need 9 times out of 10.
And if you're think
It'll
about
only
Chase's
take you
truck.
like 15 minutes to find it.
Doesn't matter.
Nah, it's not that long. Because
Yeah,
sometimes
it
you
is.
find like a nice treat, like one of Sarah's homemade cookies.
That's been in there for like 3 months.
So that's
They're
a weird
still good.
moral fact too. Chase likes stale stuff.
Yes.
I don't.
Can you believe that?
I inherited that from my father.
Oh, I've totally found some food in your truck and like so excited because Sarah makes the best cookies ever. And like I've bitten in a couple and they were definitely a little too old.
My father's favorite was stale circus peanuts, those orange ones, or stale fig Newtons.
Susan likes them too.
Yeah. The harder and
Stale fig Newton.
Yep. The more dried out it is, the more he loved it.
Like what would you dunk a fig Newton in the milk to make it better?
You didn't even have to.
I feel like you'd dunk a fig Newton in a prune juice. No thanks.
All right, are you ready for your next question?
So ready?
Yes.
This one's for Ryan. What is the most unusual thing you have autographed?
That was today. I actually autographed. Yeah, there in the back. A piece of bread. There he is.
Oh, wait, a piece of bread?
His sandwich. I thought he was kidding. That is serendipity at its finest. You have that. You want to be a rock star and you're gonna sign boobs and all this great stuff, and you sign a sandwich. So, I've made it, Maggie.
Sure. Okay.
Have you signed a sandwich?
No.
Gotcha.
Okay. This one is for both of you. Heads, shoulders, knees, or toes?
I use Dr. Bronner's.
Yeah, me. We're having fun, huh?
Sure. Okay. Why do you use pine for the builds?
Fantastic question.
That's probably the best question of the day.
So, for those of you who don't know, we love using Eastern white pine.
We throw the pine right at her.
Absolutely. It is, so many reasons we use it, but my top 2 reasons are it's readily available because Maine is one of the most forested states in the country.
The most.
It supports landowners, timber owners, loggers, the mills. And third, most of the camps we go in and work on are built originally with locally sourced materials, so it holds up. Natural wood can take up the moisture, let it out, and do that multiple times a year and still be structurally sound. Wood has had a reputation, or pine has had a reputation as being kind of a not very durable wood, but I can tell you it is.
It's got more character than those other hardwoods.
Got more character
Right?
than those other hardwoods. Absolutely.
You can look at that like, oh, those are the dogs. Like, but it's usable and it lasts forever. People.
Absolutely. And we say it all the time. We'll buy a lift, a flat, 1,000 square feet of pine, and we'll use it from sheathing, underlayment, finished floors, trim, roof sheathing. Yeah, special projects. We'll put it on siding. You name it. We'll
use it for everything.
Yeah.
It really is one of the top reasons that we make. Like, how do you guys do the budgets you do? It's because we buy pine at a very good price through Hammond Lumber, and we use it for everything.
Yep.
It's readily available. And like not everything we do is plumb or square or perfect. And you want to try to bend a sheetrock around something that's a little out of plumb or a little out of square, it doesn't happen. But pine is very forgiving.
Yep. And same thing. We could talk about pine all day if this was a pine podcast.
It kind of is.
It kind of is, true. Even with framing, like when we go into camps, it's not your standard 16 on center framing, which is great for sheet goods when it's a 4x8 and it's going to line up perfectly. but we'll have 2 foot on center, 3 foot on center, 8 inches on center, horizontal studs only.
It's very forgiving.
It's very forgiving, and you can put up one piece, know where your studs are. You don't have to worry about your ends lining up. You can cut it to length or leave it long, cut it after.
You don't have to mud it, tape it.
Yep.
You really don't even have to paint it if you don't want to.
Absolutely.
But it's amazing. Like, I think last year we buy it by the units. We buy a big unit that comes on the trailer truck. And we do hundreds of units. And a couple of times we've done a time lapse where you start with a unit on the job and it just gets dwindled and dwindled and dwindled. And then the pile, whatever's left is a small pile. And then we sell it for kindling.
Yeah.
Like, nothing goes to waste.
Nothing goes to waste. And, yeah, we love it.
Throw the pine at it.
Does that answer your question? Yes. I wouldn't let her ask me the question earlier. I said save it for the podcast.
Okay. This one is, who's a better framer between the two of you?
Not me.
Not me.
All right, well.
I never claimed to be a
that's not
carpenter.
the answer.
Just on TV.
The one trick we've learned is whoever's doing layout, they do layout the whole way through.
Right.
Don't have one person do layout for one side and then 16 on center, somebody else come in and finish it off, because you want consistency, especially for layout.
And a lot of times, like most of this, there's more than one way to do stuff. Framing is not necessarily, but I might pull left to right, and you might pull right.
Exactly.
As simple as that, pulling from left to right and then right to left.
Which side you put your X on after the fact. Dixie is a great framer layout, and I always say it's called rough carpentry for a reason when you're framing up, because it is rough and it's easy to hide.
I like to be the cut guy. There's less math involved. Not everyone's waiting on what you do, It's just be the cut guy.
Neither of us will admit to being a better framer.
Okay. Has a permitting process ever pushed a job into...
It's like onomatopoeia.
I know.
Permitting process.
Project time. Like, over
Permitting.
time.
Oh, God. Permitting.
Like a permitting process.
Oh,
ever
God.
pushed
Permitting
a
is the
job.
bane of our existence.
It is.
We're actually dealing with that right now.
We are.
We have a project going on that was supposed to be in the last round, and the homeowner said the permitting was going through, and we were so busy. Some of it's on me, maybe 50% of it's on me, but the permitting wasn't where it needed to be, and so that
we had to stop.
That poor cabin did not get done in the last round. So, it's not a big deal but that project's back 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the permitting process is so different from town to town and so involved.
Yep. And one piece of advice, anybody submitting an application, is talk to your code enforcement officer before you apply. Get the process rolling, find out what is possible, and if you can get your permits in place, we're more likely to give your project serious consideration.
Way more likely.
Yeah. Yes.
And what the weird thing is, this state rule, and everyone would think state rule is the rule, but that's not true. Town law often is stricter than state rule and supersedes state rule, and we've learned the hard way.
Yep. Yeah, and we go into think we have it figured out, then we'll go into these towns that we're not familiar with, and they do things differently. So, yeah, start the permitting process if you're thinking about applying to be on the show.
We'd really appreciate it.
Please.
Okay, let's do one last quick question. If you had to put roots in another state other than Maine, where would you think would be the best to build cabins and live?
That's a good question. Like, my mind is racing all over. Like, I want to go somewhere the skiing's good. Like, no, I want to go somewhere it's warm all the time. Or, I don't know. Where would you go?
I don't know. I always said I want to move to Louisiana.
Oh, the
hot,
I'll come
humid.
visit you, but the snakes and stuff. Like, a couple people have reached out. Like, the amazing thing is people in every state have reached out to us. We have this project. We'd love to have you come and do it. And we would love to do that, but just not enough time in the day. But like when you think Louisiana, you see those swamps.
Yeah. It'd just be a whole new set of challenges that...
Wouldn't you be worried about the snakes and like going in those bayous and stuff?
I mean, sure.
Yeah, I don't think I could do that.
Where would you go, Maggie?
I don't know. Not Louisiana.
Nori will go with me.
Maybe like New Mexico or somewhere. It's all this dry and
There's snakes in New Mexico
Scorpions.
too.
scorpions.
And that's a great thing about Maine is there's no venomous snakes, spiders,
rattlesnakes.
insects.
There's rattlesnakes.
There's one rattlesnake.
There's rattlesnakes.
No, there are not.
Yeah, there
East
are.
of
There are
Timber.
not.
Yeah, there are.
Have you seen one?
No.
There are not.
Yeah, but
But
there's
so,
that
you know, when
damn
we go-
brown-tailed moth.
When we go charging under camps or tramping through the woods, we're not concerned about.
Until you see a rattlesnake.
Fine. Until we see a rattlesnake, we're not concerned about creatures.
Poison ivy is my rattlesnake.
Yes.
I want to go where there's no poison ivy. You know where that is?
No. The Antarctica.
I think it would be really fun to like go. Just the challenges of trying to build that everywhere. You know,
Yeah.
like, you know, going to Louisiana and doing that, or going to Colorado up in the mountains. Like,
Right. Each state's so different.
so different.
Okay.
But we're stuck in Maine. We're not allowed to cross state lines. So we are here for a while. Maybe someday.
It's in our contract.
It's in our contract. Maybe someday we'll load up RVs and tool trailers and travel across the country.
Yeah.
Until then, you're stuck with us, Maine.
Yeah.
So that was it.
That was the last question?
Yes.
Well, all right.
I think we got better as the podcast went on.
I think so. We're getting back in the groove. New podcast episodes are going to start airing late September. So start listening. Keep your eyes out, ears out for those. We want to thank you all for joining us today. This was great. You stuck with it. The weather turned out beautifully.
Yeah, we got a band after this, Cadigan. So
Yep.
stick around.
Yeah, we want to thank the crew for everybody who helped us out to make this happen today. Thank you, Nelma. Thank you, Jen. Thank you to our sponsors, Hammond Lumber Company, Kennebec Savings Bank, Martin Surplus and Salvage, The Lighthouse, Camo Fasteners, Peterson Aluminum, Hero Media Arts, Badges and Buttons Plus, Big Tim Bounce Party Rentals, and Lake Point Real Estate. And from behind the woodshed, we'll be talking to you.
Woohoo!
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Introducing the Ask This Old House podcast from the team at This Old House, the PBS series that inspired a generation of home enthusiasts. Each week, our experts share exceptional home improvement advice with homeowners from around the country. Plus, you'll learn tips and tricks to tackle your toughest projects with confidence, from electrical issues to landscaping ideas and so much more. Subscribe to Ask This Old House wherever you get your podcasts.
Running a small business here in Maine is personal. At Kennebec Savings Bank, you'll work with local people who are just as invested in your success as you are. Every one of us. Experience the difference at Kennebec Savings Bank today.
The Woodshed is Central Maine's newest live music and events venue. Featuring a delicious light menu, 24 Maine microbrews on draft, and live music 4 nights a week through October, we've got a good time waiting for you. You might even spot a Maine cabin master or two. Follow us on social media and check out our events page at kennebeccabincompany.com/woodshed to plan your trip. See you soon.
The best way I could describe working with Hammond Lumber, our relationship, is like working with a group of friends.
Their service is excellent in the store. You walk in, there's always somebody there waiting to help you.
Delivery, on-site help, whatever's needed, they're there for us.
Aggressive on the pricing. They have all the materials and products we need.
Their sales service is exceptional.
They deliver everything when we expect it to be delivered.
It always comes back to service, with Hammond Lumber being the most important thing.
The best way I could
Oh, what a feeling. Putting pine on the ceiling.
We really burned through this pile.
That was over 4,000 lineal feet of eastern white pine.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a versatile wood. I mean, we've used it for the ceiling with whitewash. We did the center bead with wainscoting.
V-mats for sheathing.
Yeah.
We'll rip up whatever's left for trim.
We use it for flooring, siding.
You know, where else can you get 3 different uses out of one board or 4 different uses, you know?
I mean, yeah, this is perfect. This is one small product, but we've been able to use it in so many different ways. It's really a versatile
wood.
And it's all sourced from Maine and New England and
Yeah.
Eastern white pine.
Sustainably harvested.
We like to say throw the pine at it. We do that a lot. So now it's throw the Eastern white pine at it.
Trademark pending.
Trademark pending. Throw it.
Thanks, Sonoma.